Welcome back to Heal Inside and Out. I'm excited about this episode. This is something that I love to talk about. And it's all about the healing power of movement, which goes way beyond the physical. There's an emotional and mental benefit to, movement. And it allows us to release and let go of our emotions, some of our anxiety, and even our stress. And there's a way to move through our emotions too. And I really want to discuss what movement may have looked like before breast cancer, during breast cancer, after breast cancer, in remission and beyond, our healing and beyond, because it's an amazing journey, as we all know.
Yes.
Because we have talked about it in many episodes, our healing journey, which is ongoing. And Maggie, I would just love for you to tell our audience, what is healing for you when it comes to movement? Because it looks different for all of us.
It does, and it evolves every day. I have a little bit of anxiety about this topic. I'm not going to lie. It's a hard one.
Mm-hmm.
But I love how you said that piece about before cancer, the during treatments and all of that sort of thing, and then in remission and beyond. And for our listeners, it's like we always say, it applies to any sort of healing, right? Something that throws you into your focus on healing. What was it like before, the during, what your active healing is about, and then the ongoing healing. And I look at my before breast cancer, I've always been an avid exerciser.
Mm-hmm.
But then I always looked at exercise as I only really focused on the physical benefits of exercise.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Now, looking back, I know there were other benefits. I know what helped me with stress. I mean, I was the one that, so I was a competitive swimmer from age 7 to 18. And then I went to college. And in college, I was the one, if we were going to sit down and watch a movie, I'd be doing leg lifts on the floor.
You were one of those.
Squats. I would be I was always moving.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because that carried forward even post-college to working out at home. We have a treadmill. We have an elliptical. I have one of those total gyms. We have some weights. I have a TRX thing. I've got plenty of stuff down there. I get bored so easily.
Oh,
so
okay. So do I.
Okay. I see. I have to have the versatility, right? And so,
yes.
and I don't mind doing the virtual ones on videos and things like that too, but I have to mix it up.
Right.
So I was always making it a priority to work out. And then breast cancer. So with breast cancer, especially my first 6 rounds of chemo, that my energy is so important to me, and my energy was so zapped that I found myself not able to, not wanting to, not pushing hard enough, whatever it is. I felt defeated. I felt upset. I felt frustrated. And when I don't work out, I get crabby. So I actually didn't work out for a long time.
Right. So now it plays on the mental.
Yes.
And the emotional.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Absolutely.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
absolutely.
I want to make that point very clear, because here it is. We're talking physical, and here it is. It grabs you, the mental and the emotional.
Well, and I love that too, because here's the thing. In looking back, I was almost just going to leave it at, I didn't work out during all of that treatment, all of my treatment. However, I had a really dear friend of mine that was a personal trainer that came over and showed me, because she knew how upset I was about it all. She showed me movements that were stretches that I could do every day to at least keep my body limber, moving, flexible. I almost didn't count that because it wasn't my full-blown workout.
I know, we disregard things like that.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's like, I feel like if it's not like when we look at a workout, however we define it in our own mind, if it's not that full-blown workout, if I can't go to the gym and work out an hour and a half, it doesn't count. And that's shit. That's just,
it's not true. And it's not true.
No, it's not true.
Absolutely not true.
Well, and so then I look at after cancer, and the biggest thing for me is that given, I went through my cancer treatments during COVID, and I started the hormone blockers right away. So I literally shifted from low energy and then only stretching and things primarily to now my joints are just killing me. So to do a downward dog kills me. To do a plank kills me. Okay, well, for God's sake, do a plank on your elbows. Don't feel like you have to do it like you used to do it. That's what Marla tells me anyway. So
yes, there's different ways.
Yes, finding ways to modify. Modifications are okay. We have to modify the movements in order to serve our body and whatever healing we're going through at any given time. And it still counts. So it's just, for me, it was really getting over that defeatist mindset of wanting to exercise like I've always exercised.
Right.
For fear of becoming so sedentary or becoming weak or losing use of my muscles or my joints or anything else, because we're also aging.
Yes, we are. We have to face that fact.
Yeah. So what about you, Dina?
Well, I wanted to add, ladies, that, this is a good point where, can you do everything at 50 that you could do at 20? But we think our exercise should be right on par, so it's like, but we don't think about all those little facets of this,
Okay, that is a brilliant point.
Absolutely. It is a brilliant point. And it's so funny you bring that up, Marla, because I say that to my 81-year-old dad. You're not 50, Dad, you're 81. So I just love that point. As far as my phases of movement and exercise, I had a huge weight loss. And this was before my cancer. And I got to be the fittest I have ever been in my entire life. And I was doing boot camp classes. I was flipping tires. I was bench pressing. I was doing all kinds of different things. I was jumping on boxes. Like, my knees didn't bother me. Everything was great. And I was also 45 years old. Okay. So we're talking a good 13 years ago, at least. All right. And then the cancer hit. And I continued with this specific gym that I was going to. And I was determined to go through boot camp classes at my own pace. And the trainers were great. But what I loved about going to this gym was the community. They kept me going through my cancer journey. So I loved the whole community. And then COVID hit. All right. So I was already going through it. COVID hit, and I was in remission at that point. And then he took his gym and made it completely virtual. And I hated every minute of it. So I stopped. I was like, I'm not doing this. He was doing, it was every morning, same time. I didn't have certain weights. I didn't have kettlebells. I didn't have this. And I just got so frustrated. And I said, forget it. I'm not doing this. And now I play this. I'm in remission. I'm 7 years out. I've gained some weight back. I want to get back into working out, but my body has totally changed because I'm postmenopausal. All right. And I play that comparison game with myself. Before cancer, I was pretty fit during cancer, believe it or not. Some people are like, what are you talking about? But I was. And now I'm not as strong. I have osteoarthritis. I have osteopenia. And I know working out with weights is what I need to do. But I need, like you said, Maggie, I love the word that you said, mindset. I need to have that mindset of this is what I need to do to heal physically, mentally, and emotionally. I have to stop that comparison game.
Absolutely.
And it's not a comparison game with other people. It's myself.
Yeah, it's bad enough when it's with other people at the gym that are just killing it, right? And now
it's not even that.
Ourselves, yeah.
And I just had another thought. Being away for a weekend, I was scrolling through my pictures and I saw the picture of myself, really fit. And I just pinned that picture and I was like, and here I go again. It was after I was in remission and I was fit. And I was just like, I need to keep that picture in my view, in my eyesight. Not so much to beat myself up, but to say, with each baby step I take, I could get back to that. I will get back to that. It's going to take time, which we're going to talk a little bit about that in a minute. But that is a reminder that I know I can do it.
I love that. And I will just say quickly on that note, one of the things that I have been trying to do myself is just tell myself, I love my body. Are there things I want to change about it? Yes, but guess what? I'm working on it. And in this moment in time, I love my body and I appreciate my body and all it does for me, because when we're beating ourselves up and doing the comparison game and all that other stuff, we're just creating disconnection from it, right? It's not serving us. It's anti-healing.
Right. But to take it one step further with that, we are healthy.
Yes.
We go for our doctor's appointments. We have our blood tests. You and I both see alternative medical doctors as well as our oncologists. And all the tests that we take and everything we're doing, we're healthy. So that's another thing that we need to say to ourselves every morning. I am healthy. I am strong. Those great positive affirmations, as well as the power of movement.
And you said, I am healthy, I am strong. And I have one of those yoga mats that has all those I ams on it.
Oh, you do?
And downstairs, I have my brown yoga mat. And up here, I have that one with all the words on it. And sometimes I'm like, no, I need the one with the words. And my husband's like, what's the difference? Oh, there's a difference.
There is a difference. The healing power of movement looks very different for each and every one of us because we're all so unique and so different. And no matter what you're going through, once again, whether it's breast cancer, a different type of cancer, the stress alone, the anxiety, even depression, our emotions, we have to realize that the type of movements that we do will release all of that, especially the emotions and the anxiety and the stress. So just, like you said, you and I like to work out with weights. There's other, you used to work out for an hour and a half. I used to work out for a little over an hour. Today's, you can break up your so-called workouts, 10-minute increments. Mm-hmm. Okay. You can go walking. You can go dancing, turn the radio on and dance for 5 minutes. It's things like that besides lifting the weights. I try to still go back to some of the video, like I'm saying videos, but you could go on YouTube and look up all of these exercise gurus and do, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 5-minute ab workouts. Like there's just so much out there today.
And I will add to that, one of my favorites that I completely forgot about it until I saw her ad on Instagram this morning.
Which?
Body Groove. I bought it years ago, and it's literally this woman triple.
Oh, doesn't she dance or something? She
dances, and it's all freestyle dance, and she's got the greatest music, and it's 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, and I love it. And I can turn it on my computer and do it right here in the office. It's like a perfect one.
Wow.
So
I've seen her. Yeah. I got to look her up again.
She's awesome. I do love it. So.
Well, back in the day, I used to do step aerobics.
Oh.
And I just tried that recently, and I was like, oh boy. I was like, ooh. But you know what? It was an experiment, actually. I said to myself, I'm going to do this. It's been a very, very long time that I did something like this. And some of the movements I could not do because of my knees. So I just tapped the step. So I had to modify.
Yes. Modifications.
Right. So once again, you have to be gracious with yourself when you are starting a new exercise or movement plan or whatever you want to call it, or going back to it. Yes. Or if you got injured and you're going back to it, or whatever it might be, everything counts, right?
Yep. 5 minutes to an hour and a half, however you want to do it. Everything counts. Everything Small movements, big movements.
Just walking up the flight of stairs once or twice. Yep. That counts. I even did that the other day. I said, it was when I was away. I went to the gym at the hotel, and there's 18 steps. I counted them. And I said, all right, you're not a runner. Your knees are so, but try to get up these steps as fast as I could. And I did it. Boy, I was winded when I got to the top of it, but I did it. And we truly need to practice and what I'm going to say about this is stop the comparison. Mm-hmm. All right. What you used to be able to, what I can't do now, what, that thing, our minds have to shift and say, this is what I'm able to do. And I'm okay with that because I'm still moving and going and grooving.
I love the grooving.
Like that word.
And on that one, I will add, I have a favorite yoga app and instructor that I was really struggling to get back into yoga because I kept trying to do her sessions.
Right.
Well, I just found another guy, and he's absolutely amazing with the stretches, and I'm loving it. So now I'm actually feeling really good about that movement instead of beating myself up because I'm comparing what I used to do with that movement. So
right. So you tried something different.
Yeah.
You tried somebody different.
Which totally ties to that. The last thing that I think is really important is experimenting. And I think you brought this up earlier, experimenting and trying different ways.
Exactly. Absolutely. I actually downloaded, I saw it, I don't know if it was on Facebook, YouTube. I have a pool. And I decided when I moved to Florida that I was going to buy the equipment. They look like dumbbells, but you put them in the water, and the gloves and the belt that you wear. Well, I found some YouTube videos to do exercises in the water. So I'm going to I'm going to experiment with that this weekend. So I'm thinking about doing that on the weekend, like 20 minutes. I know to start out slow. So it's time to experiment. It's supposed to be good for the knees and the joints.
Water is amazing. Yeah.
Yes. And, as we started here, healing through movement extends beyond the physical. And healing truly is inside and out. Thank you for joining us. We hope you found value in today's episode.
And remember to share your real and raw insights with us by going to healinsideandout.com, where you can also find additional information and resources.